Hi, English learners. It's so nice to have you here.
You're listening to the English Daily Learning Podcast.
I'm Mia, bringing you clear and natural English.
And I'm Leo, here to explore it with you.
This is a place for relaxed English and honest, everyday conversation.
No pressure and no perfect answers. Just useful language you can take into real life.
Make yourself comfortable, and let's get started.
Today, we're talking about the World Cup and how to talk about it naturally in English. Mia, can I admit something?
Of course.
I don't watch every football match. I don't follow every league. Sometimes I don't even know which player moved to which club.
That's okay. I think a lot of people are like that.
But when the World Cup begins, suddenly I care. I check the schedule. I hear people talking about matches at work. I see families watching together. And somehow, I get pulled in.
That's a very natural expression. Get pulled in. It means something catches your attention and makes you want to join.
Exactly. I get pulled in. But why? Why does this tournament feel different from an ordinary football match?
I think the simple answer is that the World Cup is never only about football.
What else is it about?
Memory, family, identity, hope, community, sometimes even time itself.
Time itself? That sounds big.
It is big. The tournament comes only once every 4 years. People remember where they were during a famous match. They remember who they watched it with. A child may watch with a parent, and years later, that child watches with their own family.
So the match becomes part of their personal story.
Right. The score may disappear from your memory, but the feeling stays.
I understand that. You may forget the exact minute of a goal, but you remember everyone jumping off the sofa.
Or the whole room going completely silent.
That silence can be louder than shouting.
It really can. And that's why people who are not serious football fans can still feel something. They aren't only watching players. They're sharing a moment with other people.
So if I say, I'm not a big football fan, but I always watch the World Cup, that sounds natural?
Very natural. You can also say, I don't follow football closely.
I don't follow football closely, but I enjoy the World Cup atmosphere.
Perfect. The word atmosphere is useful here. It means the feeling or energy around an event.
The lights, the crowds, the songs, the conversations.
All of it. You can say, the atmosphere was incredible. That doesn't mean one team was better. It means the whole experience felt exciting.
I like that. It lets you talk about the event without choosing a side. But sooner or later, someone asks the big question.
Which question?
Who are you supporting?
Yes, that's probably one of the most common questions during a tournament.
Does support simply mean want to win?
In this context, yes. If you support a team, you want that team to do well.
Can I say, which team do you support?
Absolutely. Who are you supporting often means in this match or this tournament. Which team do you support can also mean the team you normally follow.
What if I don't support anyone?
You have several natural answers. You can say, I'm neutral.
Meaning I don't prefer either side.
Exactly. Or, I don't have a favorite. I just want to see a good match.
That's probably me.
You could also say, I'm just here for the atmosphere.
And the snacks.
Yes. I'm just here for the atmosphere and the snacks.
Very honest English.
Very useful English.
What about the phrase root for? I hear people say, who are you rooting for?
That's another natural way to say, who do you want to win? It's especially common in American English.
So, I'm rooting for them, or I'm rooting for the underdog.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the underdog, because I love that word.
An underdog is the person or team that most people do not expect to win.
The smaller team, the less famous team, the team with lower expectations.
Right. People often enjoy supporting an underdog because the result feels uncertain. If the underdog succeeds, it feels surprising and hopeful.
Like the world is saying, anything can happen.
That's part of the magic. And notice, supporting an underdog doesn't always mean you dislike the stronger team. Sometimes you simply enjoy the possibility of a surprise.
That's important. Football conversations can become emotional, but they don't need to become angry.
Exactly. You can support different teams and still enjoy the match together.
So if my friend supports one side and I support the other, I can say, may the best team win.
Yes, that's friendly and neutral. It means let's enjoy the competition and accept the result.
And after the match,
You might say, that was a great game, or your team played really well.
even if I'm disappointed,
Especially then. That's called being a good sport.
a good sport.
Someone who behaves politely and positively when they win or lose.
So be a good sport has nothing to do with being good at football.
Correct. It means having a good attitude.
Earlier, you said the World Cup is about community. What makes it so good at bringing people together?
First, football is easy to recognize. You may not understand every rule, but you can understand the basic idea very quickly. 2 teams, 1 ball, and a goal.
You don't need to speak the same language as the person next to you.
Exactly. A cheer sounds like a cheer in every language. A disappointed face is easy to understand too.
And everyone understands that moment when the ball gets close to the goal and the whole room holds its breath.
Hold your breath is a lovely expression. It means you stop breathing for a moment because you're nervous or excited.
Of course, you don't plan to stop breathing. Your body just does it.
Right. Shared physical reactions make people feel connected. Hundreds of people may lean forward at the same time. Then they laugh, shout, or cover their faces together.
Even strangers.
Especially strangers. During a big tournament, it's normal to talk to people you don't know. You ask about a match, you comment on a shirt, you say, that was close. Suddenly, the conversation has started.
Football becomes a social bridge.
Yes, a bridge connects 2 places. A social bridge connects people.
And with the World Cup, that bridge crosses countries too.
It does. People hear different languages, see different traditions, and learn how fans in other places celebrate.
The 2026 tournament was especially international in scale. 48 teams, more than 100 matches, and 3 host countries.
Which created many opportunities for people and cultures to meet.
But I think there's another reason it brings people together. It gives everyone a shared topic.
That's true. Sometimes conversation is difficult because you don't know what to say. A big event gives people an easy opening.
You can ask, did you catch the match last night?
Good one. Here, catch the match means watch the match.
Did you catch the match?
And if you didn't watch it, you can say, no, I missed it. What happened?
Or, I only saw the highlights.
Exactly. Highlights are the most important or exciting parts shown in a shorter video.
That's useful for learners because you can still join the conversation even if you didn't watch the whole thing.
Yes. You don't need expert knowledge. You can ask questions and show interest.
Maybe that's our first gentle lesson today. You don't need to know everything before you speak.
That is true for football and for English.
Here's something that worries me. Football commentators speak so fast. They use special words. Do I need to sound like them?
Not at all. A commentator describes every movement because that's their job. A normal conversation is much simpler.
Good, because I cannot describe a ball moving across a field at that speed.
You don't need to. Most everyday football talk is about a few basic things: the score, the feeling, an important moment, or what might happen next.
Let's start with the score.
If neither team has scored, you can say, it's still 0-0.
Nil means 0 in football.
Yes, especially in British English. You may also hear 0-0, especially from American speakers.
If both teams have 1 goal,
It's 1-1, or it's tied at 1-1.
and if the match ends with the same score,
You can say, it ended in a draw.
a draw means neither team won.
Right. During the match, you can also say, they're level,
What if one team is winning?
they're in the lead, or simply, they're winning 2-1.
And when the other team scores to make the score equal?
That's an equalizer. You could say, they scored a late equalizer.
That's the kind of moment that changes the whole mood in a room.
Completely. One side suddenly feels hope. The other side suddenly feels nervous.
If a team was losing but then wins, that's a comeback, right?
Yes. A comeback is a return from a difficult position. What a comeback is a very natural reaction.
Can we use comeback outside football?
Definitely. A singer can make a comeback. A business can make a comeback. You can even have a personal comeback after a difficult period.
I like expressions that travel beyond sport.
Me too.
What about an upset? It sounds like an emotion.
It can be an emotion, but in sport, An upset is a surprising result where the team expected to lose defeats the favorite.
So the underdog can cause an upset.
Exactly. You might say, that was a huge upset.
But if I say, the fans were upset, then upset means unhappy.
Correct. Same word, different job. An upset is a surprising result. To be upset means to feel unhappy or worried.
English likes to keep us awake.
It does.
My favorite matches are the close ones.
Mine too. A close match is one where the teams are at a similar level, and the result is uncertain.
What's a natural way to say we don't know who will win?
It's too close to call.
Too close to call.
It means the competition is so close that you cannot confidently predict the winner.
Can we use that outside football?
Yes, you can use it for elections, races, competitions, anything with a very uncertain result.
Another phrase I hear is, it could go either way.
That's perfect. Either side could win.
It's too close to call. It could go either way.
Very natural.
What do I say when a shot almost becomes a goal?
That was close. Or they nearly scored.
And if the goalkeeper stops it?
What a save!
Short expressions are powerful during sport.
Because there is no time for a long sentence.
What if the entire match is tense from beginning to end?
You can call it a nail-biting match.
Nail biting, like you're so nervous that you bite your nails.
Exactly. You don't need to bite your nails in real life. It simply means very tense and exciting.
The final 10 minutes were nail biting.
Perfect. Another expression is, I was on the edge of my seat.
Meaning I was leaning forward because I was so interested.
Yes, it means something held your attention and made you excited or nervous.
I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
That's a great way to describe a close match afterward,
And during the match, I usually say, I can't watch.
while still looking directly at the screen.
Of course, I can't watch never means I actually leave,
It usually means, I'm so nervous that watching feels difficult.
especially during penalties.
Yes, if a knockout match is still level after normal time, it may go to extra time. If the score remains level, it may be decided by a penalty shootout.
And that can be incredibly stressful for both players and fans.
You can say, it went to extra time, or it was decided on penalties.
Not by penalties.
You will hear different forms, but decided on penalties is very natural.
The match was decided on penalties. I could hardly watch.
Excellent. Could hardly watch means it was extremely difficult to watch because of the tension.
This is where football becomes emotional. Why do people feel so much when they are not the ones playing?
Because supporting a team is a form of emotional investment.
That's a difficult phrase. Can you explain it simply?
When you invest money, you put something valuable into a project. Emotional investment means you put your hope, attention, and feelings into something.
So after watching for weeks or sometimes for years, the result feels personal.
Exactly. Logically, you know it's a game. Emotionally, it can feel much bigger.
Before a match, fans might say, I have a good feeling about this.
Meaning they feel hopeful.
Or the opposite, I'm not feeling confident.
Yes, and as the match begins, you may hear, the pressure is on.
The important moment has arrived, and now the team must perform.
Right. The pressure is on works in many situations. Before an exam, a presentation, an interview, or an important decision.
During the match, a fan might say, we need a goal.
Or, there's still time.
That one is full of hope.
Very much. It's not over yet has the same feeling.
And when the match ends badly for the team you support,
You can say, I'm heartbroken.
heartbroken sounds very strong.
It is strong. For a smaller disappointment, say, I'm disappointed. Or, that was hard to take.
Hard to take means difficult to accept emotionally.
Exactly. Maybe the team played well but lost very late. A fan might say, that was a tough loss.
Tough meaning emotionally difficult.
Yes, but disappointment can exist beside pride. You might say, I'm disappointed, but I'm proud of the team.
Or they gave it everything.
That's one of my favorite expressions. They gave it everything means they used all their effort and energy.
It focuses on effort, not only the result.
Exactly. Another version is, they left everything on the pitch.
meaning they held nothing back.
Right. It's more football specific, but very expressive.
And if they win?
Then you might hear, "I can't believe it. What a result." Or, "We did it."
Even though the fan was sitting on a sofa.
That's the interesting power of we. Fans often say we when talking about the team they support.
Is that wrong?
Not at all. It shows connection. The fan feels part of the group.
But if we're trying to stay neutral, we can say they.
Exactly. They played well. They deserved the win. They gave it everything.
Although deserved the win can start an argument.
It can. If you want to keep the conversation peaceful, say, "They took their chance," or simply, "It was a close match."
Let's talk about arguments. Sport can connect people, but it can also divide them.
That's true. Strong feelings can make conversations difficult.
How can we talk about a match without making someone angry?
First, talk about what you enjoyed, not only who was right or wrong. Say, "That was an exciting match," or "Both teams created good chances."
So we look for shared ground.
Exactly. Shared ground means an idea or feeling both people can agree on.
What if we disagree about a decision?
Use softer language. Instead of, "That decision was terrible," try, "I'm not sure about that decision."
Or I saw it differently.
Perfect. That means you disagree without saying the other person is foolish.
Could I say it was a difficult call?
Yes. A call can mean a referee's decision. "It was a difficult call" recognizes that the situation was not simple.
And if we still disagree?
We'll have to agree to disagree.
Meaning we accept that our opinions are different.
Right. Then move on and enjoy your coffee.
Or your football snacks.
Exactly.
What about friendly teasing?
It depends on the friendship. Gentle teasing can be fun, but pay attention to the other person's feelings. After a painful loss, it may be better to say, "That was a tough one."
Not send them 20 laughing messages.
Probably not.
And the phrase, no hard feelings?
That means, let's not stay angry with each other. You might say it after a friendly competition.
Good game, no hard feelings?
Yes, with a friendly tone.
I like the idea that good football English is also good social English.
Absolutely. Listening, disagreeing politely, showing respect, and sharing excitement are useful everywhere.
You said earlier that the feeling stays even when we forget the score. Why are shared memories so powerful?
Because we remember emotion and connection. Imagine a family watching together in one living room. One person understands every rule. Another person only watches during big tournaments. A child is asking questions. Someone is making food. Someone is too nervous to sit down.
That sounds familiar.
The match gives the evening a center, but the memory includes everything around it.
The room, the people, the food, the sound from the street.
Yes. Years later, someone might say, "I'll never forget that night."
A useful phrase for a very strong memory.
Or, "Do you remember where we watched it?"
And then the conversation becomes a story.
Exactly. The World Cup creates many small personal stories inside one huge global event.
That's probably why people say football is a universal language.
We should be careful with that phrase, because football doesn't solve every difference between people,
Of course.
but it can create a moment of understanding. You may not share a first language, a hometown, or the same daily life. Still, you can understand someone's hope before a match, or their disappointment afterward.
And sometimes a simple football question opens a much bigger conversation.
Yes, who were you supporting can lead to family history, childhood memories, travel, culture, or friendship.
So the real value is not only the answer.
It's the connection created by the question.
That's a nice lesson for English learners too. A useful expression isn't only a group of words. It's a door.
A door to another person.
Can we show what a normal World Cup conversation might sound like? Not a performance, just two friends talking the next morning.
Sure, you start.
Hey, did you catch the match last night?
I did. I only planned to watch the first half, but it was too close to call.
Same. I was on the edge of my seat near the end.
Who were you supporting?
I was neutral at first, but I started rooting for the underdog.
I understand. They gave it everything.
And that late equalizer. What a comeback.
I know. When it went to extra time, I thought it could go either way.
The penalty shootout was hard to watch.
It really was. I felt sorry for the losing side, but both teams should be proud.
That was a great match.
See? That's a complete conversation. But none of the sentences are complicated.
And we didn't sound like commentators.
Not at all. We talked about whether we watched, who we supported, how close it was, and how it made us feel.
4 simple conversation paths.
Exactly. And you can enter the conversation at any level. If your English is basic, say, "Yes, I watched it. It was exciting."
If you have more confidence, add a reason. It was exciting because the result was uncertain until the end.
Both are good English.
No need to build a perfect sports speech.
Please don't build a sports speech.
Put the microphone away.
Unless you have a podcast.
Fair point. What about someone who knows almost nothing about football? Maybe they want to join a conversation but feel embarrassed.
Questions are your best friend. You can say, "I don't know much about football. Is this an important match?"
That's honest and gives the other person something to explain.
Or ask, "What happens if it ends in a draw?"
That's useful because the answer may change depending on the stage of the tournament.
Exactly. You can ask, "Which team is the favorite?"
The favorite is the team most people expect to win.
Right. And then, is the other team the underdog?
Now, you're already using today's vocabulary.
You can also focus on the human side. Do you usually watch with your family? Or, what do you enjoy most about the World Cup?
Those questions may create a more interesting conversation than asking about statistics.
I agree. People often enjoy talking about their experiences more than proving their knowledge.
And if someone uses a word I don't know,
Ask naturally. What does that mean in football?
simple.
Very simple. You don't need to pretend.
I think learners sometimes believe joining a conversation means showing what they know.
But joining a conversation can also mean being curious.
That's a much less stressful way to think about it.
Curiosity keeps a conversation moving.
Mia, starting a conversation feels easier now. But sometimes I ask one question, get one answer, and then the conversation stops.
Ah, the famous conversation wall.
Exactly. I say, "Did you watch the match?" They say, "Yes." And then my brain says, "Thank you. The interview is over."
That happens because you're looking for a completely new question. Instead, take one small part of their answer and stay with it.
Can you give me an example?
Suppose someone says, "Yes, I watched it with my family." The easy next question is, do you always watch together?
So I don't change the subject. I follow the little path they gave me.
Exactly. Maybe they tell you that their parents introduced them to football. Then you can ask, have you supported the same team since you were a child?
Now we're talking about their life, not only the score.
Right. Good conversations move from information to experience. What was the score? Is information. Who did you watch with? Opens a personal story.
What if they say they watched in a crowded public place?
Ask, what was the atmosphere like?
And they might say, "It was loud. Everyone was singing." Or, "The whole place went silent during the penalties."
Exactly. Then share a little of your own experience. I watched at home, but I could hear people cheering outside.
So a conversation has a balance. Ask something, listen, and then offer something about yourself.
Yes. If you only ask questions, it can feel like an interview. If you only talk about yourself, the other person has no space.
Ask, listen, share.
That's a useful rhythm for almost every conversation.
What are some other paths we can follow?
Food is an easy one. Ask, do you have any special match day food?
That's dangerous. I could talk about snacks for 20 minutes.
Which means the conversation won't stop.
True.
You can also ask about habits. Do you watch every match or only the big ones?
I would answer, mostly the big ones. I don't follow football closely.
And I could continue with, what makes a match feel big to you?
Maybe the people around me. If all my friends are talking about it, I become curious.
See? We started with football and arrived at friendship and social energy.
Another interesting question might be, do you prefer watching at home or with a crowd?
That's excellent because both choices have a story. At home, you may feel comfortable. With a crowd, you feel the energy of other people.
I like watching with a small group. A huge crowd is exciting, but sometimes I miss half the match because everyone is talking.
And some people enjoy exactly that. For them, the conversation is part of the event.
Could we ask about memorable moments without naming a team?
Of course. Try, what's the most memorable World Cup moment for you?
Then the answer can be about a goal, but it could also be about a family evening, a journey, or watching in a new city.
Right. If most memorable feels difficult, use simpler English. Which World Cup do you remember best?
That's easier.
Or, what do you remember about watching it?
I noticed that good follow-up questions are often very short.
They are. Really? Why was that? Who were you with? How did you feel? Those small questions can carry a long conversation.
Learners sometimes search for a clever sentence, but the natural sentence may be only 3 words.
Exactly. And your voice matters. Really? With genuine interest, invites the person to continue.
What if someone gives a very strong opinion and I don't agree?
You can stay curious without pretending to agree. Say, that's interesting. What makes you feel that way?
That sounds calmer than immediately giving the opposite opinion.
Much calmer. After listening, you can say, I understand your point. I see it a little differently.
So the goal isn't to win the conversation.
No, a conversation isn't a match. Nobody needs to lift a trophy at the end.
That's unfortunate. I prepared a speech.
Save it for another episode.
One last question. How do I leave the conversation naturally?
You can close with something warm and simple. Well, let's see what happens in the next match. Or after the tournament. It was a great tournament to talk about.
And then?
Change the topic, go back to work, finish your coffee, whatever real life needs.
I like that. Football opens the door, but we don't have to stand in the doorway forever.
Exactly. Let the topic create connection, and then let the conversation go where it wants to go.
We've used quite a few expressions today. Can we collect the most useful ones, but keep it conversational?
Of course. Let's imagine 3 moments: before, during, and after a match.
Before the match, someone may ask, who are you supporting?
You can answer, I'm rooting for this team. I'm neutral. Or, I just want to see a good match.
You might also say, I'm rooting for the underdog.
During a close match. It's too close to call.
It could go either way.
That was close.
What a save!
If the losing team returns. What a comeback!
If they make the score equal. They scored an equalizer.
If the match becomes extremely tense, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Or the honest version, I can't watch.
Afterward, that was a great match.
They give it everything.
I'm disappointed, but I'm proud of the team.
And when you disagree politely, I saw it differently.
Or, we'll have to agree to disagree.
None of those expressions requires detailed football knowledge.
No, they're really expressions for hope, uncertainty, surprise, effort, disappointment, and respect.
Which is why so many of them work outside sport, too.
Exactly. A work project can make a comeback. An election can be too close to call. The pressure can be on before an exam. A film can keep you on the edge of your seat.
Football gives us the situation, but the English travels everywhere. Mia, after this conversation, I think I understand why the World Cup pulls people in.
Tell me.
It gives us uncertainty, hope, and shared emotion. It gives families a reason to sit together, and strangers an easy reason to speak. And it creates memories that are bigger than one score.
I think that's beautifully said.
Also, snacks.
We must never forget the snacks.
But seriously, maybe you don't follow football closely. Maybe you support a team, or maybe you're neutral. You can still understand the human feeling around the tournament.
And you can still join the English conversation. You don't need to know every player or every rule. Start with a simple question. Share one reaction. Listen to someone else's story.
English doesn't have to be perfect to create a connection.
And a football conversation doesn't have to become an argument.
Support your team. Respect the other side. Be a good sport.
Enjoy the atmosphere, the surprises, and the moments people share.
Because sometimes the most memorable part of a match isn't who won.
It's who was sitting beside you when it happened. That's it for today. If this conversation made English feel a little easier,
hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, enjoy the conversation, and keep going. Bye!